Public Lands and Buildings Committee, July 10th, 2025.
We're calling Public Lands and Buildings to order at 6 p.m. We went ahead and put that one first due to the fact that we have Mr. Grubbs here to speak with us, and he's on a time constraint. Members present are Terry Spiegel, Christopher Moritz, Clarissa Scheffler-Slater, and myself, Sierra Sherrick, as chair. First up, we have public participation.
Hello, Keith French, 351 Grant Street, Gallingen, Ohio. We need a copy of that real quick. Can you make sure, is Mr. Myers on the committee?
Yes,
No.
he's not here.
It's these four on this.
It's four on this
Oh.
committee.
Just make sure he gets a copy of that.
Okay.
There you go.
Might as well.
There you go. I'm gonna go through this really quick, but there are some things that I want to bring up. First thing you're gonna see is the tower agreement. This is a tower agreement that was made between Wavelink and the city of Bucyrus. This tower agreement is dated March 20th, 2018. That was the last time this tower agreement's ever been looked at or updated. You can read through it. I'm only going to point out a couple things on it, and then we're going to move on. The tower agreement is a month-to-month on a basis. That means it's a continuous lease. It's not even a lease. It's a continuous contract. This agreement is as good right now at this moment. It is good, but it is a continuous month-to-month agreement. The next thing on it, so the public is aware that Mr. Fankhauser, Wavelink itself, pays $35 a month. That's $420 a year for 5 towers that are listed on here. That is $7 a month. I hope that everybody grasps that. You are sitting on assets that are, just look up what towers rent for, lease for, $7 a month. And the city's in the shape that it's in. The other thing, there's questions about insurance. His insurance is $1 million coverage, has been verified. He does have it. He's had, the start date was when, actually a couple months before the 2018 contract was signed. It's expired every year. He has also renewed it every year. It has been verified. The city itself has verified it. So that would be on the tower contract. Folks need to read this. Oh, I do want to point out that the agreement states that you need to change this, and once you change it, it does not become a continuous lease anymore. You can change this at any time on it. This piece of paper right here, I'm going to briefly go over it. I'm going to give a copy to your chairwoman, Erin Sherrick. At the end of the meeting, you can get a copy, or this one's highlighted and things. I can email you a clean copy. This was written in 2019 by Robert Radcliffe, law director, was proactive and wrote the Ethics Commission about the tower agreement because Mr. Fankhauser was taking his seat in 2020. Mr. Radcliffe, the law director, wanted advisement from the Ethics Committee. To who this is from. This is, first of all, I want to state too, I am no lawyer. I possess no extensive legal knowledge as printed in a news article. This is signed by a John Rowski, staff advisory attorney at the the Ethics Commission. Mr. Radcliffe, like I said, sent off, got an opinion on this. It talks a lot about the agreement. It states in here that the internet service that Wavelength's supposed to provide is the Bucyrus Airport, the Bucyrus Access Channel TV office, and the Wi-Fi's to the park. We already know that he does not have the access channel. So we already know that. I also know that he doesn't have them at all the parks because I have a bill from All Miller Park back in 2024, and it was around March, April, okay? It goes on and it tells you about the lease, and it tells you about what they consider a continuous contract, okay? And then it goes on and tells you a little bit about what a public contract is, okay? In either one, a continuous contract or the public contract, he has to meet 4 requirements. He cannot meet just 3. He has to meet all 4 of them. Because of his involvement in so much of his internet cameras, he cannot meet number 4. He can't. You read it, you make up your own mind. I'm not going to tell you what to think about this. You need to read it. This is a very important document.
Mr. French, if I may ask, is number 4 that everything has to be done at arm's length?
You read the yeah. Yeah. And I will show you about arm's length. Not only, arm's length that he got close to, he ate the whole body, okay? This is what they referred to as Exhibit A when I first came. This was my third, for the record, we haven't heard that in a while. This is my 3rd appearance before this committee, before council. Okay, I don't come. I'm no Democratic plant either. I'm a lone wolf that has a little bit of sense I can read. That last meeting that I attended, that city council president triggered me. It was a bad deal. So anyway, this talks about Exhibit A was at that meeting that Mr. Goldberg gave to the public, read his letter, then went ahead and read this. And because he read this, says, well, he can have all the internet. Requirement number 2, what happened is this attorney, he gives Mr. Ratcliffe just a brief of the questions, 5 questions, then he goes in depth on it, okay? That's why it's very important for you to read. There's a word in here on requirements. Talks about the continuous course of dealing that prior to office official public service or products or service, and then it goes on to tell you about unattainable somewhere else. This is all a 2019 opinion. Prior to Mr. taking the seat. When you took the internet, when you took the cameras in 2024, became a public contract. It became. Everybody wants to know about a written agreement. You don't need a written agreement, okay? It goes on in this opinion and talks about a public contract. It gives you the opinion of a public contract. And it basically says in a public contract, there's a footnote, number 10, at the end of this. And everybody knows footnotes, you look at them and see. A public contract can be a written or oral agreement. That's footnote. That's not me telling you, this is the ethics board telling you. Telling Mr. Ratcliffe, I should say. But when you took that public contract, you didn't follow proper procedures according to the Ethics Commission at all by doing it. You folks read through this. It is very important when you talk and look at your tower agreements. If you continue, I just want to know if you all had enough of what is happening and transpiring in this city. I know I've had it. Anybody that wants to question whether Mr. Finkhauser pays the bill, he pays the bill. Okay, I've got all the way back for 4 years. He was late on one. No big issue. But, so everybody understands that he is that he knows what we're talking about. This is his last check that he just put in June 17th of this year. He just paid it. In the memo, it says, city tower rent 12 months for 2018 contract. So if he comes up here and wants it's everybody else's fault with him, he knows exactly what we're talking about here. You ask about number 4. Could he meet number 4? Everybody remember the old backbone letter? You know, with the relays and switches and Canute valves or whatever else he had on his system. You only got to take one sentence out of this letter and lay it against number 4. And the sentence is, I would want to see proof. We could stop right there. That the other vendors, that's his competition vendors, we all understand what that word means, can demonstrate that that they are technically capable building a remote camera system encompassing multiple remote locations on this scale. When he starts talking about whether Spectrum or anybody else, COSI and everybody, when you read this Ethics Commission report in 2018, he ain't never going to touch number 4. You take this letter, you lay it against the paragraph in number 4, and you decide on your own whether he meets it. I'm not telling you. You decide. This one is the best. I will say this, just so you are aware and everything. At the last meeting, I told you that I was going to look into a federal suit. I did look into my legal options, okay? After looking into those, it fell under the best option would have been a tort. And then it would have taken 2 years. I ain't putting that much time into this with him, not close. So, after a few more minutes with the council, he said, hell, you don't need me. You need the ethics board. Okay, give me some advice. And he did. Since April, the ethics board has sent me an allegation form. You have to have an allegation form from them. You get through the telephone system, they say, yeah, we were interested. We'll send you a packet. They sent me the packet. I filled the allegation form out, sent it back to them. They've contacted me 3 times for different information. One of them was, is Mr. Finkhauser receiving any benefit from this? And I said, he don't do nothing except for himself. I don't know. And then she says, has he ever mentioned a tax deduction for his donation? I said, not that I've heard. Got a wonderful little website I go to that's just terrific. Takes me about 2 minutes to find something. February 17th, 2022. February 17th, 2022. At a council committee meeting, timestamp 104:35. So you know exactly where to find it. 104:35 is when it starts, of him coming to the podium, and I don't know who was the officer or the committee or whatever you folks were in 2018. I wasn't around here. I didn't move back here yet. The timestamp that Mr. Finkhauser says, I can put in a bid for $20,000 or $1. All I want is a tax deduction for my donation is at timestamp 116. So when I wrote the young lady that's looking into all this, she's got all that. Now this one, like I said, this one is the best. You know, Mr. Finkhauser comes up here lately and says, we can't talk about security and infrastructure. It's not a public record. We got to go into executive session. Everybody pull out this email chain that I gave you. You should have an email chain. It's from Captain Walker, and it's from Finkhauser. Everybody knows about that garbage YouTube that he evidently wants to blast everybody with, okay? This is on that Sherrick video, okay? The very first one. This is a beauty. You can read through the email. Finkhauser asked for it. Walker sends it back to him in a zip file. No audio. Sends it back to him. Then, Walker comes into possession of his secret audio that he just said over the weekend that he put his phone in his pocket to record. His secret audio. Walker gets a hold of that and he merges the audio to the video. Walker did it. And he sent it to him in an AVI file. AVI is audio video interleave file. Then you can read the rest of it. It's just Finkhauser being Finkhauser. All right, here's what I really want you to pay attention to. One, we all know he did it in his official capacity. There's a big old Bucyrus logo on it. And it's president. We all know that. Flip it over. To finish out the email that Walker sent him back in the zip file, we run out of paper. So we have to flip it over to the next page. To finish the email, Captain Walker put a privacy and confidentiality clause on that email. And he cites, this communication is confidential under an exception of Ohio Public Records Law 149.433 and not subject to public disclosure or release. That is the exact law, ORC, that Finkhauser wants to stand up here and say, we can get to security and infrastructure records and we can all go into executive session and talk about his spy operation. That's what I call it. I got nicknames and he don't like them. It's a spy operation. All right. You look that ORC up, 149.433. It's okay for Mr. Finkhauser to use it when he needs it. What's even better, as he stands up here, you can see this video. February 6th, 2025, at a council committee meeting, timestamp 121:05. I couldn't explain to you how 149.43 works any better than he did it. He did it in his own words. Not mine, his own words. And then he stands up there and he says, we all signed a confidentiality agreement. Uses his hands. It's Mr. Finkhauser confidentiality agreement. Okay? Mr. Turka, I am very disappointed in looking at this because it has a witness section. Not filled out.
So what's that got to do with me? It wasn't there in the first.
Somebody in the administration should have been standing at the desk when everybody. I've signed several of these.
Something or what?
I'm just accusing you that this is inside. You're the mayor, aren't you?
Yeah, that doesn't mean that I am.
Who's responsible for this?
111:20.
Where's it fall? Where's the buck fall? Your desk? Whose desk?
Yeah, it falls in my desk.
Okay.
Keith, can you take it down a notch?
I'm sorry?
Can you take it down a notch?
I can. I'm sorry. Just want to make sure everybody's aware of what's going on. So those, you have the ORCs, you have the dates, you have the letter, you have the billing. 3 more things and I'm out of here. Mr. Finkhauser made a YouTuber video of me. Claims that I'm a Democratic plot, that I was recruited. I don't know. I'm going to put it straight. I'm a registered Republican, always have been. I don't be recruited by anybody. I can think for myself. I can do everything for myself. I can research for myself. Nobody helped me research this. Did you help me? Did anyone on this board help me? Nobody. I can do it myself. Nobody works with me, okay? Finkhauser makes that YouTube. And he's going to make another one, but I think he's going to change it because that 149, 433 just blew his theory right out. Finkhauser can put a top hat on, crawl underneath the snake of a belly, and never bump his head. Never bump his head. He talks about he wants to be Trump so much. He's Trump. Well, he's a George Santos Republican. If you don't know who George Santos is, he's a congressman. That's what kind of Republican he is. He's a snake. Have him go over the Trump candidacy of the snake story with the woman. Took the snake in, snake bit him. Well, why'd you bite me? You knew I was a snake. Finkhauser, I know you watch these babies. You want to mock me about bar school knowledge. I may suggest that next time you go to the bar, you might want to find a new table to sit at, because the one you're sitting at right now is not working for you. Everything that you have in front of you is sitting down at the Ethics Commission. Everything. And this is generous, 40% of what they've got. That's it. It's been sitting down there since April. I hate the word investigation because it sounds like that I'm bragging. So we're going to just say review. Everything is under review. All of it. Thank you.
Do we have any more public participation? Okay. Next up, I would, is the minutes from June 26, 2025. Regular public lands and buildings.
I make a motion to approve them as written.
Thank you. We have a motion from Mr. Spiegel
Second.
with a second from Mr. Moritz. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain from Ms. So an aye from me, so that passes. Ms. Scheffler Slater abstained. Sorry, I didn't finish that sentence. All right, then we have tower contracts, which we didn't have anything that we could talk about with that tonight, other than what Mr. French just brought in. So we're going to table that for now. The 428 East Mansfield Street. Was that you, Mr. Groves?
It's all right.
Come on up, it's your
You want me to
turn.
come up to the podium, or?
Yes.
Oh, you got a mic right
Oh,
there.
is there a mic? Oh, if there's a mic, yeah,
Okay.
you're fine.
Well, basically, I was asked to come tonight to kind of explain my position as property maintenance inspector for City of Bucyrus. And so I just kind of want to explain a little bit about how we go through some steps and procedures when we have a complaint on property. So the first thing that would happen is we receive a complaint on a particular property. The next thing it's done is if it's referred to me, or if I get it directly, the first thing I'll do is I'll go out and do what we call an inspection. The inspection, we go out and basically take and look at the property, try and look at it from all four sides if possible, from the public right-of-ways such as your street, the alleys, sidewalks, things of that nature. If I do see violations, what I do is I take pictures which are date and time stamped, go back to the office, then we put together what we call a notice of violation. We'll send that out to the property owner based on the information we received from the Crawford County Auditor's website that tells us the property owner's name as well as tax mailing information, so we can make sure that that notice goes out to them. Once they receive it, they have a certain time frame in that notice to make the repairs, or if it's a situation where it may be a small building or something they may want to remove instead, like I said, they have a time frame to do that. If I don't hear anything back from them, in the bottom of that letter, in the last paragraph, there's a date that the compliance has to be made so that we can go back out and do what we call reinspection. Once I go back out and do that reinspection, if I haven't heard anything from the property owner, and if it's been taken care of, we go ahead and close the file. If it hasn't been taken care of, I then prepare the proper paperwork that moves forward to the law director's step to try and correct it through the court system. At that point, I'm pretty much done with the notice of violation that goes out because it's handled in the court system. It used to be in the beginning, I used to go to court. Now they just have me put pictures of the violations in on the notice so that the judge can review that with the person that it's written to, as well as our law director, to try and determine what they're going to do as far as taking care of that. So whatever happens in the court system at that point, I'm pretty much out of that loop. The only time I would come back in is if something happens, they decide they need me to go back and say, take some additional pictures, things of that nature to show that they've taken care of the problem after they've gone to court, that type of thing. So like I say, usually once it goes to law director step, I'm kind of out of the loop. That kind of explains, what kind of steps and procedures we take as far as try to take care of these problems. I was also asked to talk to you tonight a little bit about 428 East Mansfield Street, which is the old Swan building. What I did is I kind of prepared everything that was in my file on this particular property. Do you have copies of that tonight? You have that? Okay. So basically what I did on the first portion of it, I provide you a copy of the notes that have been taking place on that property from day one when I received the complaint versus all the way up through until we issued what we called a nuisance declared dangerous building order on the structure. And when the property had not been either fixed, corrected, or taken down, eventually we moved it to the law director step for court action. Now, in all fairness to both my law directors that I had at the time, Brian and Brandon both, this was probably a little bit right in the middle of transition when we changed from one law director to another. So I apologize, I can't give you an update on that, except I just know that we have not been able to get anything more taken care of with it. So I'm not sure, Brandon would probably have to answer that question for whether things went to the court action or not. I'm not sure on that. The next thing I had in that packet was a copy of the order from Richland County Building Department. What happened is the day of the tornado, we had several properties here in Bucyrus that were severely damaged. We had a house over on Kaler Avenue which was picked up and literally twisted on its frame, which I had to go investigate and determine that we put a nuisance declared dangerous building on that one. We also had the Family Dollar. I think the address is 215 South Lane Street, which was heavily damaged. And then also the old Swan building, which is owned by an LLC known as Swan Song. What we did is we were there with one of the inspectors from Richland County, which represents the state of Ohio. We were told, I think they called both Landon Hill, who was the zoning officer at that time, and myself to see what we would normally do. I informed them at that point what I would do after seeing the damage to the structure. I would issue what we call the nuisance declared dangerous building order. And what that does, that gives the property owner the right to either fix it up or tear it down. We tried to work back and forth with the property owner, but after several months we did not make any progress. And so at that point I went ahead and moved it forward. I think it was on July the 24th of 2024, I moved it forward to law director step for court action. I'm not quite sure, like I said, exactly what has transpired there. So that would be something, probably a question for the law director. We had some correspondence back and forth with a company that was supposed to be going to try and help do repairs or see what was going to have to be done for the old Swan building. Bruce Heinlein was a architect, and my understanding is structural engineer. He had conversations back and forth through emails with Landon Hill from the zoning office. Most of that information was shared with me. At one point they asked us to take down the nuisance declared dangerous building order. Through some conversations, I believe mainly with Brian at that time, we discussed it, and I said that the only way I would take off the nuisance declared dangerous building order was if the architect was willing to step forward, provide us with a letter indicating that the building was structurally sound and that they would take full responsibility for anything that happened with that building. That never happened and never materialized. They also did not follow through with an opportunity to go to a hearing with the state on it because we did not receive anything back from Richland County indicating that they had decided to go that route and go to a hearing. So it's my understanding to this date, nothing has transpired through the owner on that building. I also had in your packet to show that we had some previous damage to that building back in 2020. We were advised that a portion of the brick facing on the front portion of the structure, if everybody's familiar with the Swan Rubber building, it kind of goes with the shape of the street. Since the street kind of takes a little bit of jig jog there, the building was kind of built like that. If you looked right where that portion of the structure was, that's where the brick had come loose before. The fire department and Chief Schwemley, myself, and several other firefighters were involved both times when we went down back in 2020 and also after the tornado, so we could take a look and see what we thought about the structural damage to that building. So there's also information in there on that. So that pretty much kind of fills you in on exactly what we've done with that building. All along the way, I've had as much help as I can possibly get from the mayor, the safety service director, our law directors, in trying to make decisions on what we can do. I had heard at one time if the city did get control of the building and if they went through the court process, you're probably talking somewhere in the neighborhood of $250,000 to tear that building down. So I don't know what the possibilities are there, but again, if that building was to try and go that route, I'm not sure what kind of expense there would be for trying to take it down. And then the last thing I was going to bring to you tonight, I'm not sure, I think everybody also has in their packet a list of different properties that I have that basically have no other recourse at this point. They basically tell you each of the addresses, what the problems were with those. We have quite a few property owners that are on this list that are deceased. Some of them, from what we understand, haven't been through probate court in any way to have somebody else take possession or ownership of those properties. So again, these are all heavy expenses that would, fall back to the city if they were to decide to take some of these properties through the court system. That's a little bit beyond my scope there. That's more for our law director to talk to you about. But it's quite a list. I probably have about 25 properties on here right now that we just, at this point, I have nothing else I can do. I've taken them through the steps, up to our law directors. And like I say, with most of them being deceased, the property owners, they're sitting in limbo right now.
Madam President.
Any questions I can answer?
No, I just wanted, having talked to Gordon, had many conversations with him. I know Gordon has always said that, he's not the enemy. He's the person that keeps the town together and tries to iron out. He gives leeways. There's a couple different leeways that he's allowed to give 10-day notices and extensions, as well as 30-day extensions, as well as we're not in the business of tearing houses down. We're in the business of trying to clean up the city. That's what his department is all about. Clean it up and make it a viable tax-paying property again. That's the intention of his office. We're not actually wanting to tear anything down if we can help it. Going forward, Tommy and myself and Brandon and Kaylee, we've sat down, we've identified money. We're going to start boarding some of these houses up. There's a house over here on East Liberty Street. It's been a continuous problem. There's no water to it, no sewer to it. It's a continually problem with drugs, and see if we can't get some of these houses taken care of, get them boarded up, You board them up and then people move back into them without any utilities. So we've identified money, and so that'll be the next order of business that we'll be doing. I don't know, maybe Gordon can speak on to some of that, some of the problems that he's had with some of these properties. And then as far as people that have problems, do have problems, in the mayor's outer office, we actually have a 3x5 card, and it asks a series of questions, and if you come in and fill it out or call, we can help you fill it out, and then that card is passed on to Gordon, and then Gordon is actually able to go out and investigate it and look into it, and so, I don't know, maybe Gordon can speak to a little bit more of that.
Yeah, the only thing I would like to add to that is when we talk about some of these properties that don't have water, basically what they are, they're the ones that the property owner is deceased. And if a water account wasn't established by an occupant prior to the property owner's becoming deceased, they cannot get a water account through the city. And so most of these that I have on that list that say that the property owner is deceased, we still have people living in them illegally. I mean, because of the fact that there is no water, so there's no sanitation, sanitary conditions. It's my understanding that the one right over here on Liberty Street is actually coming over here to City Hall and the restaurant next door and using the restroom facilities. We don't know what all they're doing. They may be even trying to sponge bath in our facilities. And this is a real problem because, like I said, that it's very unsanitary conditions for people and a very dangerous situation.
Can you speak about the 10-day and the 30-day notices, the different
Yes.
types of notices?
The 10-day notices that we give out are for things such as grass, weeds, trash, rubbish, and either vehicles that are either unlicensed, inoperative, or partially disassembled if they're on the property. We issue a 10-day notice for that. Now, if something comes back and a person's having trouble trying to, say, get a towing company to tow a vehicle out, when we send that notice out, it takes a few days for the owner to get that notice. It may take several more days for them to line up with somebody to come and say, tow that vehicle away. If they have a legitimate reason and come to us on a 10-day notice, in the past, I've pretty much been advised that I could provide a 10-day extension if the request was reasonable. On a 30-day notice is usually for any type of issue with the structure itself. We give 30 days to try and make those corrections. If they can't make them or make those corrections within the 30 days, we ask them to come back with what we call a plan of action that shows that, in steps, how they're going to get it taken care of, who the contractors are they have, so that we can make sure the contractors are registered with the city of Bucyrus. Because we want to make sure that, number one, those contractors are registered to help protect the property owner, as well as to try and make sure they're legitimate, so that they aren't somebody that just comes in here and takes somebody for their money and away they go. That has happened in a few cases in the past. So that's kind of how it works with our 10-day and 30-day notices. Like I say, I work as best we can with everybody in the city, whether it's the mayor, the safety service director, our law director, all the people that pass these complaints on to me. I mean, they can come from any of the departments within the city. Some of them come directly to me by telephone, some by email. So we get a lot of these complaints in a variety of ways.
Can I speak again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, as far as the Swan Hose building, we went ahead and we met with the insurance carrier that carries all the insurance for all the entire city of Bucyrus properties. We sat down with that person today, and he stated that he would have someone from the insurance company come, being that we've instructed Brandon to go ahead and start litigation against the owner of the property. That might be something that we might wind up having the property, whether the court, if the court awards it to us or not. but we want to make sure that we're able to insure the property. They said that they would have a building inspector come and look at it. He actually, the person actually went and looked at it today, and he said that they actually have like an inspector that was with the insurance company, and he should be here within the next couple of weeks. And then I met with Greg Timberlake today with economic development. It was Village of Crestline, Village of New Washington, and the City of Bucyrus, and Greg Timberlake. We selected an engineering company that will be administering this EPA grant that we are awarded of $1.5 million, and the Swan Hose building would possibly, we could utilize this money to help with the abatement of asbestos, and being that we've selected an engineering company, that would be the next order of business, is have those people come through and look at the Swan building next. I had met with Richland County. Richland County, they've offered some suggestions what we should do, but it would be, until we actually have the property, or if we do get it, or the property owner actually has to do the abatement himself, that'll be up to the court system. But Richland County, they had made suggestions of doing away with one lane of traffic around the building. They suggested blocking the intersection of East Mary Street and Mansfield, blocking that lane off, and running all the traffic up East Mary. This is coming from Richland County building, which they deal in commercial properties. So,
Did they talk to the DOT? That's a main.
well, it's a city street. It's not actually a state highway.
Not anymore.
So, but that was a suggestion, and then the eastbound lane would be maintained on the south side of East Mansfield Street. That was just an option. Mike Keefe is going to be going to Richland County this coming Tuesday morning, and I'm right along, and there was another topic that he's going to be looking into, and that individual that's head of the Richland County building, hopefully I'll be able to speak to him again Tuesday morning and give him a little bit more of an update of what our next order of business is with this East Mansfield Swan Hose building.
So the gentleman who owns that building didn't have any insurance on it?
No, none at all.
So there's legal recourse for that too, is it not, Brandon?
Do what?
There's legal recourse for the fact that it's a commercial site with no insurance?
That's something I can look into.
Because I mean, even if you want to go with act of God with the tornado, that's one of those things that most places have to have.
So you guys know too, when we met with Richland County, we scheduled a walkthrough. We had the fire chief and service director, and Brandon was there, and myself, and a number of different individuals that would walk through it. Richland County, they made a determination the building is actually sound. It's a sound building, and structurally it's sound. It's just the outside brick walls are the problem. The brick walls need to come off, but to actually make the property, for economic development purposes, I mean, that would be maybe possibly something that the building just basically needs to be taken down. But
Mayor, if they find out there's a lot of asbestos in there, would EPA require that to be taken down then and give the funding to do that with?
Possibly. I know through Clarissa, we went ahead. Clarissa is the one that contacted Riordan McLean. He's going to be coming to Bucyrus on July 23rd. I believe it's 23rd, right?
16th, I think.
Pardon?
16th, I think.
So, 16th?
I
Okay,
think so.
got- I
So
don't know
next
why.
week.
Let me check.
County Fair Week.
At 2 o'clock maybe?
Yeah, I can check the text.
16th?
I can get it to you in just a sec.
So, I mean, hopefully, maybe Riordan McLean will be able to help us find some money. Yeah, and that's the idea. We'll.
July 16th at 2 p.m.
Pardon?
2 p.m. at July 16th.
Okay. The engineering company we just selected to help with this EPA grant that we had gotten, I mean, it'll be up to that company to actually make those determinations. That's,
And in speaking to Riordan's assistant, he stated that economic development has funding available in this year, so we would be able to apply for that money as well, or Department of Development, excuse me, for that property as well.
Department of what?
Development.
Department of Development has funds available that, and speaking to Kaylee, we're kind
Oh, yeah.
of like prepping information to
Personally.
apply for that funding as well.
I think it needs to be brought down personally.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Groves.
Yep.
All right, so next up is Air Scouts contract.
We can table that.
We're
That was,
tabling it?
that was placed, so whenever they're ready to come and talk about it.
Sounds
So.
good to me.
I thought you'd said that, but then you weren't here for the next one. All right, and then 1308 Fremont Street.
I don't have any additional information on that
Okay, so we're still
time.
waiting on that one. Sweet.
But I don't know if I told you guys in looking into it, which I think you guys have it, that
It's on that page,
it's on
yeah.
this list, that there's no further action, so I think it'd have to go through court action, but
I'm saying, I think all these had started court action.
That was the
have they
cease
not?
and fire, wasn't it? Or the
to
guy was
cease and fire,
yeah.
there's no estate, so there was no estate filed, there's no.
That's one of those buildings you can walk up to and lean on, it's gonna fall in.
Yeah, I went ahead and did my own sleuthing like I always do. Since there was no estate filed, I went and pulled it up, found the next of kin through the obituary. They're both Galleon residents. I didn't feel like it was my place to reach out to them, but I do have their contact information. They're the children of the individual who passed. It looks like they might have been estranged, but I don't want to make a presumption on that fact. And then it looks like they're, with help of Vicki, she explained to me how inheritance works. So looking down, I also need to look up the tree. I think his mother's still alive, I believe. But, so there's 3 contacts there that we could possibly look into, but I can forward that to, I think it's in his hands now, right? So I can forward it to Brandon that way. He has that information.
That'd be awesome, thank you. All right, do we have anything on the open projects list we need to speak about tonight?
I don't.
Do we have any more public participation?
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. I hope that Mr. French's information is public record now since it was handed over to you guys, so I hope that becomes available tomorrow. The other thing that I'd like to point out too is that the rules of procedure in Chapter 111 were violated tonight during public participation in the first section. Thank you.
That was big,
We're gonna get any specificity on that, or? No?
Ms. Dishon.
Vicki Dishon. It's fine, whatever. 1108 Hillcrest Drive, Bucyrus. Question to Clarissa. Let me grab mine.
Almost a question, give us a
Yes. The Air Scouts contract. Do you know if that is for Air Explorers post, 117?
Maybe that's what I meant. Is it Air Explorers? I could not remember the name of it.
Do
I'm
you
sorry.
know if it, who you had talked with?
Mr. Atkinson.
Okay. To give you a little background information. I spoke with Mr. Atkinson back in the fall of 2024. I happened to be out at the airport. He was there and he asked me about the renewal of their current lease. And he also brought up at that time that they had to give a letter 12 months before. Well, to make a long story short, after I was finally given a copy of the actual lease agreement, the lease started out to be a 20-year lease. Then after the 20 years was up, there was an additional 10-year extension if they so chose to ask for that. And that's where they had to give a letter 12 months before. They did that. The contract or the agreement or lease, lease, it's entitled lease, will expire on October 22, 2026. So I informed them what the lease actually stated. Brandon and I had emails back and forth about this very situation. And so I informed them that, and I have since sent emails to Miranda back on December the 9th, 2024, copies of the lease, copies of the ordinance, all that information. And I, mentioned to Mr. Atkinson that it would be well for him to, get with the clerk next year, around June or so, to get it on the referred to proper committee and what have you. So I think.
Yeah, I ran into him at the Dayton Air Show, and he mentioned that he knew he had till October. And I said, you're welcome to come up and talk about it. I said, what I can do is I can refer it to committee, and that way it's just there when you guys are ready. But he said that he knew October was like.
So anyhow, Miranda has all that information, and because I told him, I said, I didn't know if I was, going to be running again or if I was going to be on committee, but I wanted her to put it on her calendar so she would know that, hey, this is something that will need to be addressed, so.
Okay. So he has until October to come?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have until October to come. It expires October 26th.
Well,
Of
yeah,
20,
he has-
20.
Of 20,
the
or
letter,
October
the letter.
22nd
He has
of 26.
until October this year.
Right.
get his
To make a
1
year in.
To get his 1 year letter in? No?
Okay. The 1-year letter was only to ask for the 10-year extension. Started out a 20-year lease, then it said it could be extended another 10 years, but if the Air Explorers wanted to exercise that option, they had to send a letter to council or what have you 1 year prior to when the 20-year lease would terminate so that they could have their 10-year additional.
So we're on the 10-year edition?
Yes, we're on the 10-year.
That's what I was like.
Yeah, we're on the 10-year, and again, that'll expire October 22nd, 26. So, and then the lease is done. They have to start all over, and that's, renegotiate, what the terms are going to be, and all that good stuff.
So that's a lengthy process that he will want to get started this year anyway, right?
Pardon?
That's a lengthy process he would want to get started this year, start negotiating terms and.
Huh?
All right, so we don't need this on, we'll just leave it on open projects.
They could also ask for another extension for 10 years, couldn't they?
The way the lease reads, no.
No?
They would have to do a new lease then, right?
Yeah.
The new lease, yeah.
Okay.
He said that he was taking over because before it was someone else who did this, so he's kind of at a loss. Like, this is his first time dealing with it, so. I'm sure we're not going to kick a bunch of kids out of the
Yeah,
airport.
no, there was only the one additional period of 10 years, and they're on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, that's more information we have, that's awesome. All right, so any more public participation? If not, I am adjourning at 6:54 PM.
Platting Committee, July 10th, 2025.
Calling Platting Committee to order at 6:56 PM. Members present are Clarissa Shuffler Slater, Vicki Dishon, and myself as Chair Pro Tem. Mr. Me is absent this evening. First up, we have public participation. All right, seeing none. We've got the minutes from July 26, 2025 regular Platting Committee meeting, and we have the minutes from July 8th, 2025 special Platting Committee meeting.
June 26th.
Yep, it hasn't been July yet. Sorry, June 26th, 2025 regular Platting Committee meeting. I'm so sorry.
I'll ask if, well, I guess maybe that would be for you to do, if anybody had any questions about the edits that I had Miranda send out this afternoon.
I'd ask that we abstain because I haven't been able to read those
Oh,
yet.
that's,
Or if we table
So
it, because I
table
haven't,
these for
yeah,
right now?
'cause I haven't had
that's
a chance.
fine.
perfectly fine for the June 26th.
Right, I actually haven't been able to review either,
Oh, okay,
so.
not a problem.
Okay, so we're going to table both minutes for now.
Okay.
All right, next on the agenda, Planning Commission letter. Do we have somebody talking about the Planning Commission letter for the vacation of Pleasant Hill Drive and the street dedication? All the Avita stuff?
They have to have a letter from us. Do they not?
So the referral was the planning commission letter, and then the two things underneath it are the two topics that were described.
So you need a letter from,
Well, I have the letter, it's in the packet, I'm just saying, to keep it in line, that's how it was referred back.
Is it this one?
So do we have somebody speaking on that would be the first question.
I don't have a copy of it in front of me, so. Oh, thanks. I got
Oh, all right.
Well, there's nothing to talk about.
We're a jolly group, aren't we?
We already talked about the planning commission.
Yeah.
That was discussed at our
Last meeting.
last meeting.
Right.
So what do we need to do about the Planning Commission letter currently then?
Mr. Law Director.
Oh, hi.
I just got back.
I know. The Planning Commission letter, what do we need to do about the said Planning Commission letter in this, for Avita property things?
There are two pieces of draft legislation in your packets that pertain to the two items that are listed underneath the planning commission letter topic.
Correct.
They were all kind of referred as a whole as the planning commission letter, so that's how I kind of continued to file it down.
I guess I'm not quite
And so this
following
draft
that.
legislation, what do we need to do with said draft legislation that goes with said letter?
Is that we
Does
already
that
set the
go
meeting,
to
right?
the, is that part of the stuff
That's
with
what
the
has-
public hearing?
I'm concerned.
Because that would, did it go in with the public hearing information?
Actually, it does.
Oh, it's already in as part of it?
You do not need, you didn't need to have this done before you set the public meeting. Just have to make sure it's done for the public meeting.
Right.
Got it.
So it needed to be in the public
It still needs
hearing
to be-
announcement.
This was
Well,
done
we
before.
have time to
To do edits, right? Is that
do
what-
an edit and put that and correct the public, because it's on the Tuesday instead of the or the Thursday before. We had extra days in there.
Right.
So what we need to do is do a new public hearing announcement, is what I'm hearing?
A new one.
I don't believe, just looking and talking to Mike, he's told me that we don't need a public hearing for an alley vacation or a street vacation, that procedure, or a street dedication. So I'm going off of his
Public
opinion.
hearing for the change in zoning.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was
Okay,
going off
so
of his
these two
opinion.
do not have to be a part of the public hearing, or they are just mentioned?
For a vacation of a street alley, you do not need a public hearing. Change in zoning use, you do.
And I remember Landon, when we were going through, because you had edits for this too. When we were going through this, Landon responded back and said that it needed renamed. Is Rima Place what, that we were renaming it, or was that the wrong?
Yes, it's Rima Place.
Okay, it was like Ave before or something, right? Okay, okay.
Yeah, because there's a requirement for streets going east, west, north, south to be a different second name.
Gotcha. So that was edited. And then it looks like wording was added, Pleasant Hill Drive with the in-lots was added.
The June 26th revision letter that I received, that copy is emailed to me the other day. I did have some,
Now, this is a letter from whom?
this is the email I got from Miranda the other day on the changes.
Yeah, he was copied in on the same email as all of you, so nothing.
Page 2 of the 2-page set, part of it was highlighted.
Between in-lot 5623 and in-lot 5587, that part?
Oh, sorry. I thought I was loud enough without it. In section 1,
So are we looking at the ordinance that's vacating?
This one.
yes, we're looking at the ordinance
Okay.
vacating,
We have two
and we're
parts.
looking on page 2
Okay.
of 2.
Mhm.
Section 1
Yeah.
should read that vacating part of Pleasant Hill Drive being 236.75 feet in length on the west side and 237.13 feet in length on the east side, and 16 feet in width at the south side, and 16 feet in length on the north side, beginning at the north end of Pleasant Hill Drive, as described above in the courses mentioned.
You have different edits.
Because all the in-lots are mentioned in the description above in the courses.
We don't have, there's no edit, these edits are on here, on this copy.
Okay. What I have in front of me
Oh, wait,
is
Because-
what was in the council, or what was in the committee packet.
that's the one,
Right.
yeah.
And that's 13.4 feet in length on the north side, not 16 on this one. So is that supposed to be 16?
That 1340
Okay.
dimension, there's an angle point on the plat of 13.4 feet, and then there's a deflection angle of 2.6 feet for 16 feet. It's at the north end at Hill Street.
Okay, so,
That's why that 1340 shows up, but then there's an angle point at Hill Street where it hits Pleasant Hill Drive.
So that needs to be amended to say 16 feet there instead of the 13.4.
It is called out on page 1 in the courses, is correct. It's just on the second page on section 1, calling out that should be 16 feet instead of the 13.4.
So I would like to make a motion to amend that.
no, I have I have questions.
Oh, okay.
Questions are good.
All right. What, the change that you are making under section 1,
Yeah.
and you're saying, let's just look at section 1, because we're all jumping around here. You're saying where it says 13.40 feet, that should be 16.
Yes.
Okay, so if that's going to be 16 in section 1, shouldn't it be 16 in the caption?
Yes, it should.
Because the caption says 13.40 feet.
Yes.
Okay, while we're, and it's 16.00.
Yes.
Okay, while we're on the caption itself previously stated 13.40 feet, but it didn't say in width or length. Now, in section 1, it referred to what was previously identified as 13.40 feet.
Length.
After the width.
Right, it referred to it as length. So my question is the 16 feet length or width?
Vicky,
Be length, right?
it's the same thing. When you have a deed description,
Wait, but the other 16 says width, like, shouldn't it
Well, that's the
maintain?
east. This is the east side and 16 feet in width on the south side, and then in the section 1, it says,
it should all be length.
should all be length.
Brandon, do you concur with that? Just change it all to length instead of width?
Sounds great to me.
Okay.
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 Which means the caption also needs corrected.
I think so.
So the caption needs to state length. But if you look in the caption, you've got 16 in there twice.
What's the difference?
That's correct.
Length on the
It's
south
16 feet on the south side, 16 feet on the north side.
north side.
Okay, gotcha. I see my 16 over here. Okay, and it's to be length. So in section 1, where it refers to length for what was previously identified as 13.40, that is correct. Okay,
Okay,
because in one place we didn't identify it as length, and then in another we did, and I didn't know which was right and which was wrong. Okay. I'm questioning the first whereas clause.
Oh, sorry, I just gave myself a paper cut in my wrist.
Number 1, that whereas clause is pretty much a repetition of the caption. It also, if you feel it needs to be in there, it needs to be corrected because there's wrong.
width's there too?
Well, I guess let me ask the question before we go through all the changes that I've come across that I'm thinking need to be made. Is that whereas clause necessary, since again, it's just a repetition of what's in the caption?
So the other question I have is it says, in the caption, it says 436.75 feet in length on the west side, where below it says 436.8 feet in length on the west side. So it looks like they rounded up.
No, wait a minute.
What are you talking
Now
about?
start again.
So,
Okay,
in
okay,
the-
hold on. I need to set this straight, why there's two different dimensions on one side and the other. With the surveying plat that you should have a copy of, because the lots are parallel, but they do not have the same length, because you have that angle point, that before mentioned angle point on Hill Street, which makes the east line longer than the west line by decimal points, or just
Yeah, I guess
less than a foot.
I'm not questioning that. What I'm questioning is, it says in the caption, it says being 236.75 feet in length on the west side and 237.13 feet in length on the east side. But then in the whereas clause, it says 236.8 feet in length on the west side and 236.8 feet in length on the east side.
It's new numbers.
Yeah,
The numbers aren't the same.
no. And there's also verbiage left out.
I wasn't the one that wrote this, so ask Brandon.
One sec. It's fixed.
Okay, it's fixed. What do you mean by it's fixed?
He's typing it,
editing
fixing
them
it
as
as
we
we're
go.
talking.
Okay, so I'm back to my original question. Is there a need for that whereas clause? I'm just
No.
asking. Because if you say yes, which I'm just asking, if we go yes with it, then there are changes that need to be made to that whereas clause, just as I've already edited and
Yeah.
Clarissa's pointed out. So you need to, if you would please say, yes, we need the whereas, or no,
Makes
we
no
don't.
difference to me, Miranda, is it necessary?
Well, could you,
Because it says here and below and then described as follows.
yeah, could it just be whereas
So-
with the intent to vacate the plot being fully described as follows? Could we just nix everything in the middle so it's not repetitive? Or is that not appropriate?
I personally feel it doesn't need to be there at all, but
Well, the only reason I'm asking is because then it leads into the description.
Right, but if you look at the one above that, it says here and
the
below.
caption.
Which
Oh,
is
just
the
fully
same-
describe
More
here and
fully
below.
Described here and below.
I gotcha.
Just
Yeah.
the same thing, different wording.
Okay.
So if there isn't a necessity of the whereas, I don't see why we would have it. Like, I mean, I know every piece of legal thing has whereas this and whereas that,
And there are whereases on this,
Right.
which
Yeah.
are fine.
but the fact that it was just stated, it's kind of redundant.
Hey, it's your guys' world. If you want it taken out, we can take it out. If you want to leave it in, we can leave it in. Makes
It's not
no
gonna-
difference.
Yeah, it's not gonna like
Okay,
affect it,
So it
right?
doesn't affect it?
Makes no difference.
Okay, then I would say take that out too.
Okay.
So I'm taking out the entire whereas clause?
Yeah, that way you
That
don't.
first
even have
whereas
to-
clause, yes.
Which one are we taking out, the first one or the,
The first
The
one.
first
The first-
whereas clause.
The one that is completely, once the numbers are fixed, the exact same as the thing above it.
Yeah.
The caption goes into a whereas that is exactly the same as the caption.
Because it says being more fully described here and below, and then it gives a description.
All right, did you guys see any other corrections as we go down through the page?
Just a minor one. Doesn't, since we're here, sorry, Brandon. The first, since the whereas below it is in the first one, I think we have to get rid of, we can get rid of the and.
Now, okay, what was that again?
In the first whereas clause, so it says whereas, and there's the and.
No, this is the first whereas clause.
We just got rid of this one though.
Right,
Now that
this is the second whereas clause.
Well, now this is the first, right?
Oh, okay, well, but you've got,
Right, I'm sorry, the second whereas clause after the description, where there's
Right.
the and, I don't think it's necessary because we have 3 total. So it would be semicolon, second whereas clause, semicolon, and.
Oh,
silly.
No, that and is a normal.
Yeah, that-
That
yeah.
goes.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's,
I've seen it both ways with the
Yeah.
yeah, no,
semicolons.
that is the appropriate way that yes. It's kind of like
Okey-doke.
your Oxford comma. The
Right.
people getting rid of it shouldn't be.
Well, I want the semicolon there, but from my understanding, you didn't need the and, but
no,
it doesn't
the
matter,
and-
it was just
the and
grammatical.
The and is the new Oxford comma, yeah,
Okay.
we like it.
I think you came up with the same edit as me, Vicki. It says that the vacating part, the is not needed.
right.
Um,
And then the third line where it says width,
should be.
it would be width on the south side.
It
just
would be
because
length,
that's
though.
what it's been saying.
Yeah, but it should be length, right? All of them should be length, correct?
Yeah, all the widths should be length.
On, not at, width, so length on.
Okay, well then, wait a minute. In the caption, it says 16 feet in width,
Yeah, we-
line 3.
And we were
Yeah, we
changing
talked
that
about
to
that one.
length,
We're changing that one to length too.
because that was agreed that it should be length according to
Sorry,
Mr.
been
Keith.
changed.
And it should be length, okay.
And then it,
That's what I'm
after that-
saying, we need to go slow here,
I'm sorry.
please.
I thought we did this already. Let's see my
Well,
note.
the second 16 we talked about because there was nothing in there, whether it was width or length. And we said it needed to be length. I didn't realize we had talked about the first 16 feet, which stated width, and that you changed it to length. That's what you've done?
yes,
Okay.
he's doing an amazing job over there, keeping up with us.
So then 16 feet in length is what will be under section 1, line 3. And then at should be taken out in the word on, just because it's consistent with how you've identified it all the way through. And then we're changing the 13.4 to 16, and then we're putting in the word length.
On.
Right, length on the north side. beginning at the north end of Pleasant Hill Drive. But now here's where I haven't. Okay, it says between in-lot 5623 and in-lot 5587 and at north property line of property line. That needs to be stricken.
Well, actually, that's a substantive
That-
question that I have for Mike. It's highlighted in purple because I have a question. Those in-lots don't really match up,
At the
Mike.
north property
And
line.
you were talking about, huh?
They don't.
They don't really match up to what I found. And you were saying when I got back from the bathroom, something about it being changed to read and not talk about the in-lots.
As described above in the courses mentioned.
Excellent. Somebody want to give me a quote of what to type?
He said at the north end of Pleasant Hill Drive, as described above in the courses mentioned.
As described in the courses above.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
However.
The courses above. So we would get rid of that description altogether. So we're just gonna, Pleasant Hill Drive.
Okay, so where are we
It's
at?
getting rid of the in-lot part that's highlighted.
Oh wait, are we still doing the being feet or whatever? We're still doing all that.
Which section are we looking at?
Section 1 at the very end.
Please read from the beginning how you want section 1 to state.
Section 1,
That vacating.
that the vacating part of Pleasant Hill Drive being 236.75 feet in length on the west and 237.13
West side.
That's,
on the west side and 237.13 feet in length on the east side and 16 feet in length on the south side and 16 feet in length on the north side, beginning at the north end of Pleasant Hill Drive, as described in the courses above and subject however.
Okay.
Okay, as described in the courses above.
Subject, however, to.
Oh, there was something else after, wasn't it? Oh, after, in the courses above.
Subject.
Okay, so we're taking out then between in-lot.
Yep.
Okay.
The
So,
highlighted part's going bye-bye.
if you're doing that in section 1, you need to do that in the caption. Because in the caption, you refer to in-lot 5623 and in-lot 5587 and in-lot 1147.
I think we can get away with just saying, as described in the courses below, being more fully described here and below.
Well, if we say courses below, can we do described as follows so that it's not using below twice in a breath? I'm sorry.
As follows.
I have a problem with using the same.
Yeah, we can say as follows instead of here and below.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I mean, since we're using below just previous to that, it just, I don't know.
Cool.
And so when you're saying as described in the courses,
Below, instead of the in-lots, like, so it'd be above.
and is that description
Because-
the big description of situated in the state of Ohio? Well, then if you're gonna say below, you don't wanna have the description before
Oh, no.
section 1.
No, section 1 will be above. In the top part, instead of writing inlet, it says below. Because it's the part in between, the description's in between those two parts.
Right, and the description is now gonna be
Below.
after section 1.
No,
No.
the description is still where it's at. It's just, if you look at the front of the page, that's where you say below. Section 1's where you say above.
So instead of the in-lots, it just
You didn't
says,
say above, you said below.
That was
Section
for
1.
the heading, when you said we need to
so
correct the heading.
we're gonna say.
That's what we're saying below.
So the caption's gonna say below, and section 1 says above,
Because it's situated in the middle.
because it's situated.
Right, section 1 says above.
Yes.
But that's not what I wrote. You guys said below.
Well, no, that was because we'd gone back to the heading. That's when you got
Okay,
switched up.
this is where we need to go slow here. I'm sorry, you're all jumping all over here.
Would it be easier if I just typed it up and get it to you, how I think it should read?
I've got it.
I mean, what we've got now
I
does
say
not
he-
work.
He just typed it up, so if you want to give it to us.
That's what committees are for, is this kind of discussion.
Yeah.
So, Vicky,
So
why
are you
don't
going
you
to,
see
no,
what I got?
no, tell,
No, I'm making the changes as we go. So
Yeah,
help you
he
more.
was correcting it as we went, that way you can see it already without the extra lines through it. It'll help.
Yeah.
you say yeah, but you know, I don't like to be rushed.
We're not trying
I
to.
understand. I hate being rushed.
What do you mean I'm not being rushed?
No,
This
I
is being
said.
put in front
I
of me.
said
Look at
I'm
this
not
and see
trying
if
to
it's
rush
right.
you. No, we're not trying to rush you.
Take
We're
your
just
time.
trying to make sure we're all meeting on the minds here, everyone's on the same page.
The whole point of committees is to have these kinds of discussions and make sure it's right.
So why would you say, as described in the courses below, being more fully described as follows? I mean, we're saying described twice? As described in the courses below. What does that mean, in the courses below? What is
In the
courses?
courses below,
What's courses?
each course on a property, every time you change a bearing on a
And that's what's in the
property-
description.
Yes.
So to me, this is repetitious.
Mm-hmm.
As
That's
described
what a
in the
deed
courses
is.
I was gonna
below,
say, it's supposed to be.
being more fully described as follows.
Yeah, that's what you put in the caption of a deed description.
Yeah. Deeds are horrendously.
I know deeds, I
Do we just wanted to, are you just wanting to get rid of,
couldn't tell you how many
could
deeds
we just say the
So
north end of Pleasant Hill Drive as more fully described as follows? or-
Yes, that is perfect.
Perfect.
That other,
We're still duplicating is what it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
and
I think
remember,
it's got to stay that way. What do you think, Mike?
As fully described
being more fully described as follows.
in the courses that follow?
I think it's fine just how it is.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be
Except
that
for
way
the changes
because-
in the length, that first paragraph is fine.
We want to take that out.
The,
The-
yeah.
What?
That's what we said.
Do I have permission to take the out, that the?
Sure. Go for it.
Which the,
Hereby
Section
ordained.
1, it'll just state that vacating part of is hereby approved. You don't need the word "the." And that's not just me stating that.
I said it too, just for.
actually,
No, hold up, wait. Proper English, you're talking the vacation of, so that the vacating of, that's the actual act of.
So it either need to be that the vacation of.
Yeah, and not
Or it needs to
vacating.
be that vacating. So it either need to be
Yeah.
that the vacation or that
It's
the
that,
vacating.
the vacating part, so
So it would
vacating
either,
is the description word there.
it's a, I just forgot what the word, you put me on the spot.
can I make a suggestion? I'm just going off my 30 years of surveying experience right now. But
glad
section 1, in my opinion, should read, section 1, that north end of Pleasant Hill Drive being,
Okay, just hold on. I'm giving this back to you so
Cool.
you can do what he's saying.
All right. What do we got, Mike?
I think section 1 should read, that northern end of Pleasant Hill Drive being, and then and what changes we made since.
But what about it? That the northern part is what?
That's the northern part of Pleasant Hill that's being vacated.
But
Right, but there's nothing
you
else
took out
about
the word
vacating. You just
vacating.
took out,
You didn't say vacating when you said what you thought that should state.
I just want to make this statement, you guys are making it harder than what it really needs to be. Section 1 should read,
I'm done.
vacating the north end of Pleasant Hill Drive.
I see what you're saying. That vacating the, okay.
I'm going to assume you were not given copies of these drafts prior to them being presented to the committee tonight.
I have the original copy of the deed that V3 submitted.
No.
And the survey plat.
No.
And these here.
I don't think you have Vicky's edits, correct?
I don't have Vicky's edits.
Okay.
No, but what I'm stating is what was in our packet for tonight's meeting.
I don't get that.
So the original two ordinances that we were presented, one for dedicating and one for vacating, you were not given those to look over?
When I have the original deed descriptions from the surveying company, no, I don't have them. I don't have your
Okay,
revisions.
So
It
maybe
doesn't-
we could print out what we have for the
So-
next meeting and give it to him so we can get this taken care of then?
I believe-
I thought we were almost getting it taken care of now.
What'd you say, Miranda?
You should already have a copy, but I can re-forward the email to him.
I've made all of the changes as we've gone,
I know you have.
so it's all done. I mean,
I get the copy
width has
that
been
Miranda
changed to
sends me.
length, and
I don't get a copy of your
has been
revisions.
taken
Okay, wait.
out,
No.
Wait.
So you've answered my question.
Can we let Mr.
Sure.
Gobrick finish, please?
so I don't see why we would have to wait. The changes have been made as we went.
Well, then the only other one I see, Mr. Gobrick's in section 2, is that law doesn't have a period at the end.
Do what?
That in section 2, at the second line, of section 2, there's no period.
Now there is.
Thank you, sir.
And I just want to say, Mike,
Yeah.
the only reason I was asking if you had previously been given copies of the ordinances that were in our packet, which you have said you were given, and in the packet was the original, not my
I
amendments.
don't
I'm
get
not-
the whole packet.
Miranda said that she emailed you what we have for this.
For this specific topic.
You
You
must
have
have gotten
copies.
this.
I might have gotten it, I don't know.
Okay.
And I guess my only point is, I mean, it's like, everyone gets so frustrated when I bring up or point out things, but yet others are pointing out things and had, like I say,
I'm not frustrated with you at all. My
no,
only thing,
I can tell Mike's frustrated with me.
the only reason that I think it's a good thing to do is because we don't want to end up in a situation like the whole fence debacle that they're going on about on Mary Street. So my thought is, as long as we're just all is consistent and on the same page, it's all, I think we're just trying to avoid, this is just what this is for, so.
Make sure it's all in there right the first time, that way we don't have to worry about going back and fixing it.
I just think people need to be
And none of us were a part of the
accepting,
original of that other one.
receptive.
Not a single person.
All right, so do you have any other edits, Vicki?
Nope.
All right, so you got our edits as is, so would
Could-
you guys want to go ahead and send this as edited to the full council?
I'll make a motion to send this as edited to full council. And then, just for clarification, if we find anything else, we can amend at full council, correct?
As long as it's not more than a Scribner's error.
Sounds like substantive,
Yeah.
right?
But
But
Did you have something substantive?
is there anything on the dedication that needed corrected? Which is the other piece of legislation here? I mean, all the widths and, it should be lengths again.
So the same thing with the whereas clause, right?
Yeah,
I think that hold on, let me pull it up.
every place that says width, it should say length. We found that out
And if
already
it
on this
doesn't
last
say
one.
anything, it should say length.
And if it's missing, it should say length next to the number. Feet in.
I mean, if you take a look at the caption, we have the words part of duplicated. I mean,
So I have an ordinance dedicating the public street to be referred to as Rima Place to be 50 feet in length on the west side and 32.69 feet in length on the east side and 153.55 feet in length on the south side and 148.26 feet. And then in length needs added on the north side of the property line, being a part of the in-lot 1145 being more fully described here and below.
but you gotta remove that duplicated part of.
Oh, being a part of a part, yes, I see that, being a part
Being a
Of
part of,
the
part
in-lot.
of.
Being part of in-lot, no, being part of in-lot, so yeah. Being a part of in-lot 1145 being more.
Now
fully
that
described here
raises the
below.
it.
question,
That one matched up. That in-lot matched up. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, because that whole in-lot 1145 is being dedicated.
Okay.
Hey, I have a question, because everybody's gonna wanna know, where did Rima Place come from?
The name.
Like, who, what was that
Avita
name?
did,
Avita picked that.
yeah.
Did they
They're
have,
building it, they own the land now.
did they have a reasoning for that name?
I didn't ask.
I figured because our locals are gonna wanna know what this information is, like, that's a strange, out of nowhere.
I don't know. I have no idea.
We could probably always ask them to see what the name was from.
They're a developer.
So we can delete the whereas clause, correct? Same as previous?
That's a question for the law director.
That was the question.
He was still correcting things, so I wasn't sure if he understood that you were talking to him at this point.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
wouldn't say correcting things. I'd say making stylistic difference changes. And no, I don't see why, whether having the whereas clause or not makes a difference.
Okay, so if it doesn't make a difference and it's just a duplication, that's,
Especially since it says vacate or platted street.
so yeah, we can just get rid of that whereas.
Okay, and then so in section 1, the dedication of the public street known as Rima Place, part of in-lot 1145 being 50 feet in length on the west side, 32.69 feet in length on the east side, and 153.55 feet in length on the south side at, so instead of at, on, and 146.26 feet.
148.
148, sorry, excuse me, 148.26 feet in length on the north side of the property line of in-lot 1145.
Remove
Subject,
the word being a part, or the words.
where are you seeing that at?
There should be an and.
Or no, no, I'm wondering if that should be in there. Because we refer to being a part of in-lot 1145 in the caption.
We do say that.
So why are we not referring to it in
The-
section 1?
We are, the dedication of the public street.
I think
known as
that
Rima
should be
Place,
stricken, because
part
you're,
of in-lot 1145.
but then you turn right around and say again, being a part of in-lot 145?
I think so, the
Should be
property line is what they're talking
All
about.
of, should be all of in-lot 1145.
Right.
Well, that's not what the caption says.
So it should be, wait, so the dedication of public street to be known as Rima Place
Being in-lot,
being in-lot.
nope. Being, because it'd be twice. Including in-lot. Dedication of the public street known as Rima Place.
Encompassing,
But you look at the
No,
ordinance.
just leave it as a part of in-lot.
yeah, just in case there's,
Just leave it as. a
Part of in-lot. And then below, I think you're saying that's the property line of in-lot
yeah, at the
1145. So
property
that's,
line of, so it goes to,
and so there should be.
Is that correct? Excuse me.
Yep.
Because in the caption after Rima Place, we don't state, or it does not state, part of in-lot 1145. It goes right on being 50 feet.
I see what you're saying. Referred to as Rima Place, 2B feet. So we could get rid of part of in-lot
Yeah.
1145 and then put 2B, 50 feet in length.
Or just being,
Wait,
Being-
I'm confused.
So in section 1, line 1, where it says, at the very end, where it says part of, we're saying strike that, and then in line 2, in lot 45, strike that, and just have it being 50 feet in
No,
length?
that needs to stay in there.
Okay, so then should it be also in the caption?
It does say that in the caption.
no.
No, it doesn't.
It says it down.
Known as Rima Place being 50 feet.
2B 50 feet in length.
This description's wrong. 583.
Do what?
This description's wrong. Do you have a copy of the dedication plan?
Yeah.
It's missing a course.
No, it's not. Wait, is it? I only got the one.
No, their copy, their deed. They're calling out 32.69 feet. Where's the other 50 foot for the other end of the in-lot? They call out, east line of 1145 angle point in the west right of way of Plants Way, thence along west of 3269 feet. Something's
Something's not right.
Something's not right in their description. But I don't have a copy of the dedication plan in front of me.
I have it. Miranda sent it to me. We've got the dedication plat right.
This is where whenever Robert Clark Duff Sr. and I would have deeds, we would sit and I would read the deed and he would look at the document, the description.
Line by line.
Yep.
Yep,
We did that
I had to
every
do that with
time.
Dad too.
Yep. Because it is so easy.
There
Oh,
should be
they're-
to miss.
1789.
Yeah. I mean, and
And it's
We-
so
Yeah, there it is.
heavy.
There's the two courses. They have them.
They have them?
Yeah, they have them.
Okay, good deal.
Okay. Overlooked that 17 dimension.
Crisis averted?
Crisis and burdens.
Good deal.
Okay, so did we agree then that we should add part of 1145, or in lot 1145 to the caption
It is in there.
to mirror section 1?
Oh, okay. Yeah, if we're gonna mirror section 1.
But that section 1 dimension needs adjusted.
What dimension?
It should read that on section 1, that dedication of a public street to be known as Rima Place, part of in-lot 1145, being 50 feet in width on the west side, and that should say, let's see,
like,
So 3269 in length is wrong, is that what you're saying?
so 50 feet in length on one side. What was the next number?
So, please.
He's doing math, hold on.
that 3269 should read 50.58. Because you have two different courses on that east edge, because there's an angle point.
8.
So then you need to change the caption to state
50.58
50.58.
instead of the 32.
Yes.
50.5.
See, aren't you glad we're doing this?
He's gonna say no. Just don't ask questions you don't answer to. 50.58. Okay. And so we would like to have part of in-lot 1145 added after Rima Place in the caption, correct?
Yeah, leave that.
Pardon?
Yes.
Yes.
Leave part of it line 1145.
But it doesn't appear in the caption.
Yeah, that's why we
Right.
were
It
adding it to the
does now,
caption.
though.
It does now, it was just added. I
Okay.
just watched it.
And on the west side and 50.58 feet in length on the east side. Okay. And all other changes have been made there. And then again, all I see is a missing period in section 2.
That was already changed.
Thank you.
And on line 4, section 1, after it says property line of inlet 1145, shouldn't "and" be in there?
And subject, however,
And
too.
subject, however.
Good catch, Mike.
And we were also going to put the north side of the property line, I thought we talked about being a part of in-lot 1145. Or we don't want being a
No,
part
the-
of.
the-
The whole right-of-way is inlet 1145.
But,
But you had-
but that other part was in length on the north side of the property line, so
Yeah,
that,
because that's the
yeah,
description.
that's actually the description there.
Now that I don't want to
Just a
confuse
term of
people, and I don't want to shift too quick on you, so when you're done looking at something, I have an additional note.
Okay.
Back on the vacation,
Well, you're going to switch to the other one?
That's what she just said, now I'm switching gears completely.
his note about and subject is not, the and is not there either on section 1 of the vacation as well. And subject, however.
Oh, yeah, no, that was one of the corrections we made, above and subject.
Right, we made it in
Don't need
the,
that in the caption.
no, not the caption.
No, it's in section 1.
In,
As described in the courses above
For
and
the
subject, however, to.
the dedication. I'm talking about the ordinance for the vacation.
Yeah, I was.
And is not there.
Where the vacations, where we got rid of that whole highlighted section and changed the wording.
Yeah.
Mike had said however and, or above and then
Oh, okay.
subject. So that was part of what he said. So that should
I
already
didn't
be in
catch
the
the and, so I
correction.
just wanted to make sure we're,
I was just writing it down as he was saying it.
yeah, I wrote it.
Sure, having however in there
Huh?
makes sense.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, but I wasn't gonna.
I would think it would say inlet 1145 and subject to the rights of all public utilities.
But you did 1147, not 1145.
Wait, so is it 1147 or
It's
11?
1145, I misspoke.
Right, but the vacation is also 1145? Or is it 1147?
Vacation refers to 1147.
1147. Yeah.
Wait,
That's correct.
which piece are we in? Are we in the vacation or are we in the dedication? We're in the vacation.
No,
Let me
we're in
pull up the,
dedication.
No, we're in the vacation.
We switched back.
when?
Okay, I'm just gonna clarify.
looking for
They're
the
two
word
separate
and.
in-lots, correct? 1147 is correct for the vacation, and then the dedication 1145 is the right one, right? I just wanna make sure I'm understanding. Okay, all right, cool. That was my question. That was answered. Thank you.
Cool.
I have no further edits.
Sure, can I ask Brandon a question? Does
Oh,
the
yes.
Does the removal of that first whereas clause include the description into the caption then?
No, the description of portion of Pleasant would be where it starts back up after the heading.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, you'd leave the description of lines.
Yeah, I just wouldn't, wasn't sure if that would continue into that and I would have to, continue to read that as if it were part of the caption or if it would be a whereas clause still. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay, now that we have these corrected and edited and changed,
I would like to make a motion To move this to full council with the edits as
Both
described.
pieces?
Both the dedication and the vacation
Ordinances.
ordinances as described.
Okay, so we have a motion from Ms. Scheffler Slater. Do we have a second? As they have been amended tonight?
I suppose that's up to me, huh?
Please and thank you.
I second.
Okay, so we have a motion from Ms. Scheffler Slater and a second from Mrs. Dishon.
Just keeping in mind, I'm still gonna double check.
I know you will.
We plan on
To
it.
have these pieces sent as they were edited to full council. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, motion passes. All right, next we have the appointment to BZA and BBSA. We had Mr. Lipscomb step down, and we now need another person to be appointed. Is this where we need to put something on the city website telling people that we're looking for somebody who would be interested?
Just out of curiosity, can a council member sit on it? Jim does, doesn't he?
I think that there's already one that,
Oh,
because it is
you
Jim.
can only have one?
But he's on it as the chair of the Platting Committee.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's how he gets on.
I was like, I'd do it if we need somebody,
Yeah,
but if
it's one of
I'm
the
not allowed
members,
to,
uh-huh.
then I would.
So that's what we did the last time, was we asked to have it put on this website and Facebook to see if anybody's interested in putting their name out there. Yeah? Oh, and we may or may not have somebody in the audience who would like to give their name. If you could forward your information to the council clerk this week, that would be great. Anybody who is interested that's not already, okay. And if our favorite person in charge of computer stuff is paying attention and would like to put that on, we would appreciate it. Bonnie? Okay, so that's technically taken care of too? Okay, do we have anything on the open projects list we need to talk about tonight?
Yep. I would. First off, on the open project list, date of 8/20/2024, updating the zoning and, says plating code. That can be removed because that was pushed over to the ad hoc committee that was formed.
Excellent.
And then I just wanted to check with the law director to find out where we are on the land swap. Let's Drive, Crawford Park Districts, trading land, trading their Let's Drive, where the city of Bucyrus.
Just waiting on them to get us the deed back.
Now,
It has been a while, hasn't it?
yeah, do you
Yeah.
have the deed prepared that the city's gonna sign?
Yes.
For the, okay. Now, I'm just asking, you have spoken with the Crawford Park District and they said they're going to prepare their own deed?
No, I prepared it. They have it.
Oh,
They just
you-
need to sign it.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as they sign it and send it back, I can record both deeds.
Do you have any idea or when you sent that to them? I wonder what's the,
Well, they did have some changes in the park district.
yeah, but,
I mean,
That was kind of a while ago.
well,
now that
but
you
but
mention
I'm wondering if the ball just got dropped because so many
I can
other
reach
things were
back
going
out and
on.
ask.
So maybe if you could please reach back out, sir, that would be really appreciated.
Aaron, I don't hear condescension in your voice, do I?
this
No.
started back in.
No, I'm not
March
understanding why I
5th.
can hear voices above the
I'm just
committee.
teasing you.
It's,
Ooh, passive aggressive.
Okay. Also, in talking with Mr. Wyatt, he informed me that there's also the amending of a lease to be done, referencing the sanitary sewer. Has that been prepared?
What are you talking about?
Give me a second here and see if it's in our minutes. There were two documents. One was the maintenance agreement, which he said has been done and signed.
Correct. I'm not sure what you're referring to as the second one.
notes in the minutes here. Wyatt states that those 3 parcels are part of a 99-year lease the city has with the Crawford Park District, who is essentially using them currently, and the city would want to amend that lease to reference at a minimum the sanitary sewer, and then also put in place a maintenance agreement, which again, that's been done. I'm just reading off the minutes of April 4th, 2024, Service Committee. Why are we talking about that here? If this is on the Service Committee.
Yeah, and we're still in plating.
What is it called? An amendment to what?
Well, it's also on the Platting Committee.
That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sewer what now?
Doesn't make sense though. It just says amend that 99-year lease to reference at a minimum the sanitary sewer. And I suppose the sanitary sewer is that the CSO5 force main project, the lift station that's being put on Lutz Drive?
Yes.
I don't know, but I just texted Dylan, so we'll find out.
No.
All right. So we are looking further into that. Is there anything else that we need to speak of?
And then you'll double check with Crawford Park District to find out. I mean, it's a matter of signing a deed.
I'm sure they have to meet and approve it.
Yeah.
Mr. Gobrecht, I do have one. 10/124 Ethel Street vacation was sent to Railroad for signature, but that was like right when you came in. Do you have any update on that?
Yes, I asked about that when we were meeting, talking about the property stuff. Haven't heard anything from the railroad. As far as I understand it, that's just kind of been sitting there on the shelf. We finally got the crap out of Ethel Street's alleyway though, so that's nice.
And then the Sunoco, I need to reach back out to the owner of that one right over there. I just can't remember the road it's on right now. Thank you, Hopley. I'll reach back out to him just for clarification because he used a zoning code that we don't have. So I just wanted to see which one he's wanting to send it to, maybe get him.
But in our minutes, okay, just hold on. In our minutes for June 26, it stated that Keith had contacted the business owner of Sunoco to submit a letter with the correct zoning designations, and he stated that he has not. Wait a minute. Me questioned if Keith has contacted the business owner to resubmit a letter with the correct zoning designations. He stated that he has not, as he has not had the time to reach out. And then he stated that it might be best to hold off on this matter, as the zoning ad hoc will be looking over the map boundaries next and hopes to have that completed sooner
Gotcha.
than it would be done in regular committee.
And I apologize, that was the one that I was sick for. So that being said, that's all
right.
that's all I have.
Mr. Gilbert, may I ask if you would shoot me an email and let me know when you gave the deed to Crawford Park District?
Sure.
Just because I'm keeping a
what's his name?
track of timeline.
It was Dyer.
So I just want to say that was lengthy, but I really appreciate everyone being patient with us. I know at home it's probably not fun to listen to us pick stuff apart, but we're just trying to make sure it's done right, so.
All right. So we're done with open projects. Do we have any public participation?
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. So in the packets,
Answer the
when
questions June 11th.
council members make edits to legislation, why isn't that in the documents on demand? Isn't that public record also, that anything submitted to council?
Everything that was there that we were correcting tonight was what was on documents on demand, or at least in the packet.
No? I wasn't, because Vicky's, all her corrections were not in there.
Because
So-
we hadn't approved them yet.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter. It's not a requirement for every single
Oh,
email
it's
to
not
be
a
on there.
requirement? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Would be more than happy to fulfill that record request if you'd like.
Okay, is there anything else this evening? If not, I'm adjourning this one at 7:56 PM.
Economic Development Committee, July 10th, 2025.
I call the Economic Development Committee to order at 8:03 PM. Members present are Christopher Moritz, Clarissa Scheffler-Slater, Terry Spiegel, and myself, Vicki Dishon, Vice Chair. First on the agenda is public participation. Seeing no one, we have the approval of minutes from the June 26, 2025 regular Economic Development Committee meeting. Do I have a?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion by Spiegel, second by Moritz. Any discussion?
I will be abstaining because I was not present.
Okay. Roll call vote. Moritz?
Yes.
Spiegel?
Yes.
Myself, Dishon, yes. And Scheffler-Slater?
Abstain.
Okay. Next on the agenda, Bucyrus Tourism and Visitors Bureau, second quarter report. That was in everybody's packet and is on Documents on Demand, so feel free to peruse that. I would like to read, and in their second quarter 2025 report, that does include their 2025 second quarter expenditures. I would like to read a summary that accompanied the report, which states, you can see much of the expenses are related to marketing items, which is what we are tasked to do. Still, we incur operating expenses related to running an organization just as any business would. Our staff does not receive benefits, cell phone reimbursement, nor mileage reimbursement. Our administrative expenses include items such as taxes, staffing hours, and shared expenses with the Chamber of Commerce for items like MailChimp for our newsletter/blog, copier, phone, internet, website hosting, and Canva. We did receive bed tax in the amount of $2,665.70 in May. However, we are waiting to be made whole with all bed tax dollars owed from 2024 and 2025. Thank you to the auditor and members of City Council for the work they're doing to collect this money from Quality Inn and Holiday Inn. As we move into the second half of the year, we will have income and expenses related to events like the Best Worst bike ride and Candlelight Christmas. This year, we're building some new items that incur expenses now, but will not be incurred next year, such as the website and tourism map. We started 2025 with a balance of $68,257.07. Our current balance is $61,839.25. We are remaining fiscally responsible and stable, even while having a shortfall in outstanding bed tax funds owed to our organization and the city.
Mrs. Dishon.
Oh, excuse me.
If I may.
Sure.
I would also like to point out that all of the expenses from April, May, and June are listed on the next page. So if you want that on Documents on Demand, it is there. They have stated all of their expenses.
And if I may point out, I know at one of the meetings, Mr. White had questioned what miscellaneous income was. And I wanted to respond to that, but was told I needed to wait until after he was done talking. And then he left the podium and didn't wait for a response. So I would like to let everyone know that miscellaneous income. First off, the tourism has a checking account that all income goes into for the Tourism Bureau. I, in talking with Casey Grau, told her that when she was preparing this itemized list of expenses and income, that when it came to miscellaneous income, that she should identify it as such, that it's not for us to know that, you know, Vicki Dishon gave them $50 or, you know, Clarissa Slater gave them $60. That's not what our concern is. Our concern is with the bed tax monies that the city receives and the Tourism Bureau gets 1/2, and then as well as the expenses that are taken away from those bed tax monies. So again, miscellaneous income is just income from other sources other than bed tax.
So that could be private donation.
Exactly,
And,
yes,
and we're not
anything.
privy to that. That's
No.
not our business.
We
Right.
don't need to know that.
Okay.
Okey dokey, open projects.
We need a motion to accept that report.
You know, I don't know if we've ever done that, but sure.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the tourism report as written.
I'll second that motion.
Spiegel made the motion, Scheffler Slater seconded. Any discussion? If not, we'll do a roll call vote. Moritz?
Yes.
Scheffler Slater?
Yes.
Spiegel?
Yes.
And Dishon, yes. And that is a good point, Terry, to do that. Thank you. Open projects. Anybody have anything on open projects to discuss?
I was planning on following up, these are old, obviously, but with these annexations that have been on here forever, and maybe seeing if we can get an answer with any of them, since it's been on here for so long. And then I am following up with the AOFF grant as well with Mr. Timberlake and the partnership once I get a chance, so.
And I had also reported out at Tuesday's council meeting, but I would like to report out again at our Economic Development Committee, that I had received an email on July the 11th from Greg Timberlake, Interim Executive Director with the Crawford Partnership, confirming that the presentation by Attorney Emmett Kelly on the JED and CETA programs will be held on Thursday, August 28th, 2025, from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Crawford Success Center. Mr. Timberlake will be sending out notifications to the village, city councils in the county, and township trustees either this week or next. Any more public participation? Seeing no one, I adjourn the Economic Development Committee meeting at 8:10 p.m.
Service Committee, July 10th, 2025.
Call the service meeting to order at 8:13. Members present, Sierra and Sherrick. Terry Spiegel, I myself, Chris Moritz, Chair. Any public participation? Seeing none, I want to entertain the approval of minutes for June 26, 2025, regular service committee meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the June 26, 2025 regular service committee meeting.
I will second that.
Sierra and Sherrick made first, Terry Spiegel second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. I have on the agenda to bring up the creation of ordinances to allow in-home water testing. That is going to be tabled for tonight. We don't have enough information on it yet. I made a few phone calls today. I know Tommy was on it today too, making some phone calls. We have it on our agenda, so if we want to bring it up again, it's going to be on there again, so we can bring it up anytime we want to.
And it's now in open projects.
It's an open projects. Open projects, anybody wants to speak about?
Not this evening, thank you.
Any more public participation? No. Seeing none, I will adjourn at 8:14.
Health and Safety Committee, July 10th, 2025. Due to a lack of quorum, the Health and Safety Committee will not meet on Thursday, July 10th. Finance Committee, July 10th, 2025. Due to a lack of quorum, the Finance Committee will not meet on Thursday, July 10th, 2025.